All righty. We are live now. Hey, everybody. I'm Adrianne Cornejo,
I'm Casey Kearfott.
and we've got someone joining us today, Doug Johnson. He's with McLean County Art Center. Super happy to have him on and talk about the Art Center and what it does. As most of you know, we switched our giving back program, and by month, we pick a nonprofit to donate some of our commissions to from each closing. And this month for October is the McLean County Art Center. So we just thought it'd be fun for people to learn a little bit about them.
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
We're very excited.
Yeah. Casey's got some fun art jokes, Doug.
Do you want to hear one?
Casey is the queen of really corny jokes.
I would be very excited to hear them.
Are you sure? Okay.
She's got it. We had it so she could pull it up, but then we got messed up here. So I remember one of them.
Which one?
Why did the piece of art go to jail?
I don't know. Why?
Because he was framed.
Uh,
I told you they were very bad, corny art jokes. Yeah.
Did you hear about the artist that always took things too far?
no, I
They
didn't.
know how to draw the line.
I told you they were bad, Doug. All right. Before we talk about the Art Center, we are going to make a quick drink. It's an art-inspired cocktail. It's called the Kiss, named after Gustav Klimt's piece of art painting, obviously, from 1908. So, ironically, it's all Italian liquors in there, or all Italian drinks, even though he was Austrian. But it's got some of our faves. So
I feel like I'm
I
sorry.
know we're like out of sorts here. But it's champagne. Doug, we owe you a drink. We'll have to send you stuff so you can try it out. Do you like champagne, Doug? This one's actually Prosecco, but
yeah, it's fine. I'm more of a Guinness fellow, but sure.
well, I know I see online you like to try the different craft beers and stuff. I love craft beers as well. I know I see your, but I can't get enough champagne.
When was this painting?
1908.
Look at you.
1908.
Gustav
Doug-
Klimt was part of the Vienna Secession.
What's that?
He was a member of the Vienna Secession, a group of artists that
See, I knew
created
we could have. So,
more
Doug,
decorative work.
we were going to do a little trivia thing where we popped up famous art and quizzed you on it, but we didn't want to put you on the spot.
Oh, I'm good at that.
I had a feeling you
I
were.
would hope, but
Honestly, I had a feeling you would be just fine. But
I've taught college
that.
level art history for years, so I'm usually
taught
pretty
it?
good. Yeah.
Ooh, I took it once, and ironically,
I also
the
took it
painting "The
once.
Kiss" was on the cover of my art history book. I did it at
Nice.
Wesleyan.
Oh, very good. Who taught that?
And our instructor, it was pretty dry, Doug. It was, here's this, here's who it was, here's the year, memorize it. That was
Yeah,
it.
my instructor was boring too.
Oh gosh, because that stuff's all juicy. I mean, there's great stories and personalities, and it's a shame you didn't get that.
I'm sure there is. I was an art major, so I was interested, but the class was very dry.
Yeah. Art history should be a little bit racy.
Oh, well, I should have taken art history with you, I think.
Yeah. Maybe you could teach the class now.
Yeah. So cheers. Sorry you don't have one, Doug. We should have sent stuff over. No, I feel bad.
Oh, good. Okay. You have something.
I'm good.
So Doug, why don't you tell everyone what your position is with the Art Center?
So I'm the executive director of the McLean County Art Center, and we are the official designated arts agency for the city of Bloomington, town of Normal, county of McLean. And McLean County Art Center is one of the oldest community-based arts organizations in the Midwest, and we've been around since 1888.
We just saw that online. That's crazy. Were you
Crazy.
guys in the same building?
No, actually, for many, many years, we were in what was the Withers Public Library on the third floor, right across the street where Withers Park is from the old State Farm corporate, across from the Castle Theater. There was the Withers Public Library.
Yeah.
and we were housed on the third floor of that building until about 1971 when the
Where like
roof
the bank is now, you
collapsed.
mean, right? Is the bank?
No, in the park
Oh, it was the
next
park
to
itself.
the park itself. Yeah, the Withers family had a mansion there, and she was a Southerner, and they deeded their home to the city of Bloomington for the library when they moved out of the community and retired.
Oh, that's
That
fun.
is fun.
I'm just
So
old enough that
you're
I
building.
went into. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You go ahead
Oh,
first.
I'm just old enough that my dad worked at State Farm uh,
Oh,
downtown, and so I'm just old enough. I remember going into the library when I was a kid. So I was born
and
in
going up there
'64.
to check it out.
No, no, we never went up to the third floor because it was at that point the McLean County Arts Center was um, uh, not a fully public entity like it is now.
Gotcha. So, how long have you been with the Art Center?
19 years.
Oh, that's a while. So, what drew you to that? I mean, what's drawn you there and kept you there? Like, why do you think it's great organization?
Well, the McLean County Arts Center is one of 18 arts agencies across the state. I was in shows here in high school and college, and I taught here before I became the director. So I have a long relationship with the McLean County Arts Center. I came here from an administrative position at ISU, and I wanted to work in the arts because I have a master's of fine arts degree in painting, and it was a good fit for my administrative and artistic skills.
I've seen some of your paintings. I like them. You paint
Like,
mostly. I mean, the ones I've seen you post online are primarily what, like iconic locations around the area. I remember I saw you did like one of Green Gables and
yeah, and the wash house and some other
yeah.
places, but mixed with landscape. Actually, starting next week, I'll have a solo show at Heartland Community College that'll run through the end of
Oh,
the semester.
that's
Oh,
fun.
we should go.
We will. We'll go check it out.
We like to check out art
Do you
shows.
mostly do painting?
Yeah, yeah. When I finished my MFA, which I did my bachelor's and my master's at ISU and my MFA at Northern, I showed with a couple commercial galleries in Chicago for several years. So
Oh,
there was a period of time where I made my living completely from the sale of artwork.
that's amazing. That's tough to do, Doug.
It is tough to do.
Lot of
Yeah,
starving artists out there.
yeah. It's feast and famine. It's probably like selling real estate. You can have some really great times where you want to give some bank, and times where you're just wanting things to keep going so you can keep going.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody else thinks we're just, roping in the butt.
I know.
Uh,
What kind of services do you guys offer?
Well, the McLean County Arts Center, we do 16 to 18 exhibitions per year, including the oldest continuous amateur show in the history of the state. We
I've been
have
to that's a lot of fun
it
because it's all
is,
different ages and all different, backgrounds and skill it's not all people that have just gone to art school and they're, like you said,
yeah,
they're amateurs, but I've
it's
seen some really cool stuff at that.
yeah, it's high school, college, and adult, so we get a big mix of that. Um, but we also show a lot of professional artists in our schedule. We have now 2 classroom spaces, so we teach everything from drawing, painting, ceramics, printmaking, um, and then we do our Sugar Creek Arts Festival, which is, I guess, coming up. But
You guys,
yeah,
you're probably exhausted. That's a lot of work.
it is. It's a lot of work. It's one of the top 100 arts festivals in the country. We'll have this year, with COVID restrictions, we'll have 100 artists. Typically, we get 20,000 people attending that event over the course of 2 days, and we have
Are
artists that.
you gonna have to limit that this year?
Well,
Or you just expect less because
we expect a little less. Actually, what we have done is we've limited the number of artists. Normally, we have 130. We've taken it down to 100. Although we've had a couple drop out because they've had health concerns. Sometimes it's an it can be an aging audience of artists above 50. So I had an artist drop out today because he was loading up his truck with his concrete sculptures and injured his back. So
Oh,
yeah, so there's all sorts of that. But we have artists from as far away as Oklahoma and Florida and Georgia that participate in this because we have a reputation for being a great community and great sales.
yeah. We were actually showing houses to a girl that's an artist. She's a musician, professional musician and an artist, and she's just looking for anywhere in Central Illinois. And we were telling her she needs to come check out the show this weekend. She lives in
Yeah.
Chicago, and she's
Yeah.
been looking all over in the
Mhm.
area, looking for a specific type of house versus location. And I've told her a couple times, I think stay close to Bloomington. We've got a lot of great art stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're excited about going this weekend.
Yeah.
And
I've got the volunteer sign up pulled up, Doug. I'm gonna find one of those shifts you guys are lacking volunteers for and get signed up.
that's great. We actually, we have musicians perform at Sugar Creek as well, and we have when GLT did a story last year about gender equity in performance venues, we were one of the most equitable of all the organizations that host music events, and usually at least half of the performing musicians we have at Sugar Creek are women, which honestly, I make decisions on who's performing based on the quality of the music and the thoughtfulness of the performers. We want the music to be pleasant and to attract people, but not to be so loud that artists can't um, do their
Sure.
sales.
You want them to be able to talk to people and communicate. It's entertainment, but kind of background.
Yeah, yeah. So that becomes the challenge. And we had some issues a couple years, and we don't have those issues anymore.
Yeah. So where does your guys' funding come from?
Well, we're a member-supported organization, so members in the community provide the revenue that allows us to provide our services. We receive grants, and we have a managed endowment that provides funds as well. But it's really our membership is a huge portion. Obviously, our classes and a festival like Sugar Creek provide a revenue stream, but it's really a combination of all those elements that allow us to keep functioning.
And about how much a year does it cost to operate the MCAC?
Our budget varies. Really, it can be between 300 and 450,000, depending on the year and depending on our programming. This year is going to be very complicated because we're having to address some building issues, which are going to cost us about $100,000. So that skews everything as you start looking at, what can we do and what can we afford to do and what do we have to do.
It's a really cool building, though. You
Yeah,
guys have a really cool building. The
it's
architecture is really neat.
it was designed by Arthur Lowe Pillsbury, a Bloomington-based architect who
Yeah.
went to U of I. Originally designed as a congregational church.
Oh, I didn't know
Congregationalists
it
were
was designed as a church.
Because
they were those were the pilgrims. So it's in a different architectural style than you see with a lot of other buildings, as that almost kind of craftsman prairie style a bit. And then where I'm sitting at now is in the office section, which was actually a 1930s Sears bungalow that was transformed by Russell Francois, a local architect, into being the space that we have now. It was acquired after the organization bought the church and then retrofitted as an office. When we bought it, this is before me, it had been serving as a dentist's office. So when I started here 19 years ago, every single room in the place had a plumbing fixture. So
We laugh because we just showed a dentist's office for someone that wasn't wanting to use it as a dental office, and it was like sink, sink, sink. I was like, you
yeah,
got plenty of plumbing to pick from. But I can relate to that. So I know you said you guys, when we were emailing earlier this week, you mentioned that there's a fundraiser going on currently.
yeah.
You want to tell everybody about that, how they can get involved, how they can help out?
Sure. And there's if you go to the Art Center website, there's a link on the front page you can click. But um, we have received, or we will be receiving, some funds from a capital bill uh, from the state to provide for some building renovations. And we had allocated those funds, which haven't been received, to redo our public parking lot, do some tuck pointing, uh, do some roof work. You get a building this age, there's always going to be things. And so we'd gotten about halfway there. And then about 3 months ago, in the sanctuary area of church, what is the Branch Gallery, we had a section of 113-year-old horsehair plaster, a 3 foot by 5 foot section, crash down early on a Sunday morning. And that led us to really making an evaluation of that ceiling. And um, we we couldn't guarantee that we wouldn't have other sections fall. There was a network of cracks, as you're going to get with that old heavy plaster. So we ended up having taken all the plaster down when we're drywalling, and then in order to take everything else down, we had to take down our lighting grid. So by the time we take down the plaster, put up drywall, paint, and put up a new lighting grid, that's $100,000. So we're raising funds for that, and anyone who visits the mcac.org website can see that project, some behind the scenes, even the video from our security cameras of the plaster crashing. Yeah, that was a holy cow moment.
At least nobody was standing under it, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're very fortunate, and no artwork was damaged.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great. We'll post a link to the website for the fundraiser in the comments here, so that it's easy for people to find that later. I mean, it's easy to find anyway, right? You can go to Google and put it in, but we'll make it even easier. So I know we were signed up for a class that we're actually really
Oh,
looking
yeah.
forward to. So one of the things I like about the Art Center, aside from the exhibits and the arts festival and stuff, is you guys offer a lot of fun classes for people of all different skill levels and different interests, and reasonably priced, just something fun, different to go out and do for a few hours. So we were signed up for one, and I put it in the calendar day wrong. So we missed it. And actually the instructor she reached out because, like, you guys send out the surveys after for feedback. And I said, yeah, we're gonna have to sign up for a future one. We messed up. This was my error completely. And she called me and was like, hey, we'll just pop you into this other one. And so she got us all. So she's like, we'll just treat it as like a reschedule kind of thing. And
Nice.
we're looking forward to it. It's coming up. It's the naughty cross stitching.
Oh yeah, that's very popular. Everyone.
We're excited.
We're excited. We're gonna go do some naughty cross
And
stitching.
it's like Halloween inspired, right?
I think this one,
Yeah.
because it's redone, is Halloween inspired. Yep.
Nice. That should be fun.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. So how often do you guys come up with class schedules? How has that all changed with COVID? I mean, do you have to look
Yeah.
at your numbers? Are you doing less classes? Are some of them on Zoom? What's
Yes.
it all look like?
So, well, when the apocalypse hit, we changed to online classes. Um, and actually, we just did some free classes online because everyone was hunkered down. We thought, let's give you something that you can do independent. So we had some daily activities for each weekday, and we had a lot of people participate in that. And I did a series of free watercolor workshops, but everyone was stuck at home, so I really had to think about it of, okay, if I'm in my Apollo capsule and I'm trying to, find my way back to Earth, what do I have around the house? So, can you do a watercolor painting with coffee and cranberry juice? Sure, let's try that. So,
Oh, that's so
Yeah, 'cause I was like,
fun.
I would have that at my house.
so yeah, so we've done that, but we reopened for classes um, after about 4 months. So June, we reopened back up, but we're only doing one class at a time. Normally, we could have as many as 3 classes going every evening. But for everyone's safety, we moved it to one class, and then provide open studio for our ceramics program and the painting program, so that people could come in and have a space to work that would be separate. So uh, that's been great for the students. We keep our classes small, so we have 9 or 10 students in a class. So and then we are again requiring face masks in our public spaces. So and we have, we brought in special air filters to try to keep the air as clean as possible. So that's been great. The classes have been full. Actually, it's if you wanted to take a ceramics class, the members at the art center get to register a day early, and we've had almost every one of our ceramics classes fill up within the first 20 minutes of being available for members. So if you're not a member, it's very difficult to get into a class.
I'm gonna have, because I've been trying.
That
to
was
get
one of the
in,
ones she wanted to do.
and so I'm gonna have to be a member so I can get a certain
Yeah, you have to really be a member. Then we open up registrations on noon, usually on a Tuesday, and so people have to be on the website at noon to get in, just because we have.
Oh wow! Because I'm like, I'm a member, but when I logged in, but I didn't know there was that
full for like
urgency.
months. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like it's like.
Will you release them? Do you release them kind of a quarter at a time? The
Yeah,
classes?
we really do. Yeah, and so we have 4 different ceramics instructors, and almost all the classes just fill up right away. I wish I wish we had more ceramics teachers of the quality we have, because we could fill up classes, almost 7 nights a week. But we really want to keep the quality high, and we've bought more kilns and more space. We designate more space within our building in order to facilitate that. We have a ceramics assistant who only deals with firing the clay, because it's such an active program. But
so what I'm hearing is, if you're experienced in ceramics and you have an interest in teaching, get a hold of Doug.
yeah,
yeah.
All of our ceramics teachers have a master's of fine arts degree in ceramics, and 2 of them from Alfred University, which is kind of like the MIT of ceramics programs. So it's they're great classes. So
ceramics, Doug.
It sounds intense. Maybe I should start with like a.
Oh well, actually, we have Linda Willis Fisher, who's a retired chairperson of the art education program at ISU. She's actually a ceramicist and teaches kind of introductory pinch pot ceramics and hand building ceramics. So
start there.
I think Michael needs to do. I think my husband needs to do it. We went to. If you go out to Washington, there's like a paint your own pottery, but they also do ceramics. Like, you just go in for an hour and they help you, just real basic, throw a pot on the wheel kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've done it several times. Like I said, I was an art major, so I've taken ceramics classes, not with much success, but I've taken them. And out there, I was struggling, and I turn around and my husband's got this, and I'm like, he just had like a natural knack for it. He had a great thing, and I was like, they were like, "Do you want to fire yours?" No, no.
Well,
mine can go back in the pool of.
Throwing on the wheel is hard. I mean, if you're someone who's a natural athlete, they have the kind of muscle memory that they can throw on the wheel and make stuff happen. When I was doing my undergraduate, I also took glass blowing, and that was both hard and scary, because you touch it, you're gonna severely hurt yourself. And there were two football players that were in the class, and they had just this musculature that allowed them to turn these 20-pound globs of hot glass around, and they were fearless. So that was a whole different thing.
Yeah. When I was at U High, I don't know if it still is, but I went to U High for high school, and the ISUs had like a glass blowing thing kind of in the parking lot between the football field and the school. I don't know if that's where they're still at.
It's still there, yeah.
And they'd always have they did like an annual glass sale with all the like student work and stuff. And I was always, every time I'd drive by, going to and from school, and they were out there, I was always fascinated with it, because it was pretty neat looking.
It's a
they
real.
had the doors open, and you could see.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's hot and it's macho, and it's which is funny, because glass.
It's the first time I've ever heard anybody refer to a glass blower as macho.
Oh yeah, they are. God love them. They're complete cowboys, those guys.
They're the cowboys of the art community. All right.
Yeah, they are. They are. Actually, it's funny how every discipline within the arts it has kind of a personality that goes with it. Printmakers are the accountants of the art world.
Oh, I can
So
see that.
yeah, because it's all very disciplined.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Anyone that is looking for something to do this weekend, definitely check out the Sugar Creek Arts Festival. It's a mouthful. If you've never been there, it's fantastic. Doug, obviously, with you being with MCAC 19 years, you've been running it for a
Yeah,
while. You
yeah,
do a great job. Thank you for that. It's a great thing for our community to have something like that. So nice work to you and your committee, staff, board, everybody that I'm sure it takes a village to put something like that together.
yeah.
But
Yeah, so the Sugar Creek Arts Festival was actually founded by the town of Normal, and they wanted something to bring people into Uptown. And so they worked with Fred Mills, who was the art department chair at ISU at the time, and Cup Chang. And Cup owned many businesses in Uptown Normal. You remember Cup? He owned Mother
I
Murphy's for a
love
while.
Cup.
Yeah,
On that little coffee house down there
yeah, Coffee Cup.
where Jimmy John's is now, maybe, or
Yeah, yeah, it was.
the Coffee Cup. It was called the Coffee Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was
I
his
love that.
TCUP, however he spelled his name. Anyway, so they started Sugar Creek Arts Festival in what, 84, and that first year they had 19 artists that were selling work out of their trunks. They just pulled their cars into their parking spot and sold stuff. So we've come a long way.
It was a swap meet of art.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was a
kind of.
swap meet of art. So that's
Well, and
fun.
I'm excited it's in October, which it's in October, so I was like, oh, it might be cooler because it's so hot.
I'll tell you,
But it's gonna be hot this weekend.
18 years ago, because it used to be in what, July?
Yeah,
My son's, I gained 80 pounds with my son when I was pregnant. And so it would have been 18 years ago, basically. 17, 18 years ago, I was at the art festival. And I remember I was so pregnant because his birthday's in August. And it was like, no, I have to go to the arts festival. And I was walking around, my fingers are swelling. I start crying. Like, I remember it. So I'm actually also glad it's
I
in
know,
October. It can be hot in July.
It's so hot, but it's like my favorite thing. So when I saw it was moved to October, I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like kind of chilly. It's gonna be like 85 degrees.
That's
I'll
perfect.
take 80. I'll take 85 any day.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Me
there
too, as long as there's
was
not rain and thunderstorms, right?
there was one year it was 105 degrees.
Oh.
It was probably the year I remember. I mean, it was bad. I was just like, it was awful. I was
Yeah.
like, get this baby out of me.
So we don't know if it's going to continue in the fall. I'd like it to be in the fall just because a lot of our artists are older and being out on the tarmac and the hot is just miserable for them. So we'll see how it goes. There's always stuff to work out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, well, thanks again for joining us. I'm sure anybody can get the schedule and the dates and the times from the website for the festival this weekend, but it's Saturday and Sunday, correct?
Yeah, 9 to 4 both days.
9 to 4 both days. Stop by. I think I'm going to sign up for a Sunday morning shift. Stop by and say hi. I saw that nobody was signed up for a few of the things Sunday morning, so
That's great. Thank you.
Gonna pop my name in there and stop by and say hi. Say hi to Doug if you see him. Tell him he's doing a great job. And anyway, thanks for joining us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or you're looking for something fun to do this fall or winter, definitely check out their classes as well. So
yeah, come take naughty stitching.
Come take naughty stitching with us. It'll be fun.
Nice.
We're looking forward to it. So
Great.
all
Well,
right,
thank you so
thanks
much.
for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, bye.